University College Dublin isn't your average top-flight football side. At a time when the League of Ireland is struggling both financially and in terms of exposure, UCD employs a unique model, one based around youth and education. Their manager is Martin Russell.
For me, UCD is just the prime club regarding player development in Ireland. What we do is we offer scholarships for young upcoming players to come and not only play their football at top level, but also get a first-class education. And we think with those two things going side by side, it equips any young player for going forward in the game. It's very difficult for the young player to turn down a chance of playing professional football. And a lot of the young Irish players, majority go away at 16, but the majority are back by 18. And a lot of them don't go back into education, and they've sacrificed it, and they pay a price for that. We try and tell boys that they come, play and train professionally, get a chance to play against the top teams in their country and get an education alongside that. And when they're old enough, mature enough, and probably at a better age to be seen as a first-team player, if they want to go overseas, then they'll be ready.
First admitted to the League of Ireland in 1979 as an amateur side, UCD turned semi-professional in 1983, opening its doors to players from outside the college. To this day, though, the majority are either current or former students of the Dublin University. Balancing higher education and top-flight football provides a unique challenge. Dave McMillan, one of the team's strikers, is studying for an architecture qualification.
My course in particular is one that has extremely long hours. So, I'm studying right up until training, and then sometimes, I'll finish training at 8 o'clock and I might have to do a bit extra study. So that can be difficult. Come the end of the week on a Friday, you've got a match. It can be tiring, so you've just got to really balance it right and try to make sure you're as fresh as possible every time you go out on the pitch.
UCD's football scholarship programme has been running for over 20 years, ensuring a continuous supply of talent for the domestic league and beyond.
Every club in this league has players that have come through from UCD, and it's a great opportunity. If we didn't exist, it would be much harder for young players to not only get an education but to even break into the league. And I could imagine players would give up trying if they didn't have this club to come to and prove themselves initially. A lot of people I've played with here have gone on and played at at Shamrock Rovers, at St Pat's, at other clubs higher up in the league, and also players across in England. So I think it's a good example of what other clubs could achieve with academies and things like that.
While the route to a long career in Ireland is one well trodden by UCD alumni, it's the dream of playing abroad that continues to capture players' imaginations. Paul Corrie is the most recent example.
Paul Corrie was a lad that I watched in schoolboy football, and we approached Paul about signing. At the time, he had an offer of 1 year professional contract in England with Burnley. He decided to turn that down, and he completed a 3-year degree course here at UCD. During that time, he's played over 100 games for the first team, and there recently he's moved to Sheffield Wednesday in the Championship.
It's a source of inspiration for the whole squad, including captain Mick Leahy.
All of us are obviously very jealous of that. Delighted for him in one way, but jealous as well, and we kind of want the same thing as that. I think everyone here wants to try and make it in football if they can. Obviously, it's tough to do here as a full professional. Obviously, maybe move on to one of the bigger clubs here, but if not, move on to England and to get a club over there.
UCD AFC undeniably benefits from its association with the university. While some clubs struggle for facilities, the students have access to arguably the best setup in the league. But with a much smaller fan base, there's pressure to raise extra income.
During the summertime, we run an 8-week summer camp for kids in the area. We run them down by the sports centre where we showed you earlier on, and that's a great way to raise money for the club, but also to bring local kids of the community into the club and hopefully get them to come to more games and promote the games.
In terms of fans and stuff, we may be struggling because it is hard to get the students through the gates on a Friday night. Most of the students that live on campus will be from the country and they'll be gone home, but we're definitely as ambitious as any other club. We're playing at the highest level in the country here. We're all as ambitious as any other player in the country.
UCD's model of youth player development is regularly held up as the way forward if the domestic game in Ireland is to progress. Other teams like Sligo Rovers are starting to follow suit. Brian Mullins is Director of Sport at UCD.
We're very proud of the fact that our student team competes with the professional ranks on such a meritorious regard in terms of maintaining their position in the league and pulling one over on the bigger teams on an ongoing basis who have bigger budgets and bigger players and more mature players.
UCD welcomed Bohemians during FIFA Futbol Mundial's visit. After a successful recent run, Martin Russell's side looked to be on course to another victory when the visitors were reduced to 10 men after just 4 minutes. Danny Ledwith's fine free kick was the pick of UCD's 2 first-half goals, but despite their numerical advantage, they squandered the initiative after the break, conceding twice late on to throw away the win.
Yeah, with 4 games left now, we'll try and play as well as we can in those 4 games. Try and get as many points as we can, and then hopefully the nature of the club, we usually lose a few players at the end of the season, so hopefully we can keep most of this squad together and maybe add a couple of players and be even stronger next season with the experience of this season.
Russell's side have since secured safety and are looking ahead to a 4th consecutive campaign in Ireland's top flight. They may be one of Europe's youngest squads, but UCD have the ambition, desire and drive to match any of the competition. Next week we head to Uzbekistan as their top club creates a stir across Asia. We meet the footballer with a nifty sideline in close shaves. And we take in all the best from the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup. See you then on FIFA Futbol Mundial.